And we are live. Hey everyone, Gerda Mala here, clinical psychologist, your fellow group private practice owner, private practice business coach, of course, and mentor, but very importantly, and something that I'm extremely excited about at the moment, the fact that I'm your Elevate 2020 host. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, do check out the website elevate2020.com.au and find out what it's all about. But let's get started on today's topic. Let me just make sure that I am seeing comments as it comes through. I can just see there in the background, you can see my little workspace for today. So I'm here in Agnes Water. This is my second week in my new town. Moved 6.5 hours from Brisbane up north, and I spend most of my work time currently out here because there's actually a bit of a breeze coming through and there's no air conditioner in the living area, and I don't want to spend the whole day in the bedroom where there is aircon, right? So that doesn't work. That is not an elevated environment, working in your bedroom, even though it has elevated atmosphere for the air conditioning. It's not good enough. I feel way more elevated in my mindset and thinking when I look at this fabulous view and I just see nature, right? It is so uplifting. So today I want to talk to you about a very important topic. Now, the topic that I have there in, I guess the live stream title is the one thing you must do in order to be able to scale your practice. Now, if you are a solo practice owner, you might go, no, I'm going to stop watching. That does not apply to me, but actually it does. Actually it does, and I will reveal to you how. So this thing applies to you irrespective if you are just starting out or you already have a relatively large practice that you want to grow and scale, right? And it's all about, if we want to come from it from a financial perspective, like a really proper business perspective, it's how do I go from 4 figures a month to 5 figures a month? How do I go from 5 figures to 6 figures, from 6 figures to 7 figures, right? How do I get to that 7-figure practice? Obviously, yes, you will probably need to become a group private practice to do that, right? However, scaling your practice, i.e. building your practice, i.e. expanding your practice, will have a different meaning to each of us, right? So if you are a solo practice owner, that might mean practice and scale that I, as a one-man show, one-woman show, can actually help more people in better ways, right? And this thing will help you do that. And it's the same for the larger practices. How can I grow bigger without a lot of extra expenses and time? And this is this one thing, this one ingredient that I do want to share with you. Hey Abby, I can see you are on here. Please let me know that you can hear me well. So what is this secret thing, this one thing that you need to do? And this thing is actually so important that it falls into 2 of the 4 F's of having a fabulous private practice. So as you guys might know, if you're already, Abby says perfectly awesome, if you've already read, the Elevate conference websites, and if you've heard me talk about it, there's 4 F's to building a fabulous private practice. It is, of course, getting your foundations right. This is especially important if you are in the beginning stages of your practice. However, a lot of times I find that even large group private practices has to go back to foundations because they didn't invest the proper time, energy, and strategies to get that right. So we've got the foundations, then we have the fighting fear section, where it's all about stepping into that mindset, that elevated mindset of knowing what you're here to do and allowing yourself to do it. Then we have the frameworks, those frameworks that you need to put in place as you're building this business. And then we've got that freedom. How do you step into more choice, time freedom, and financial freedom, and all of the stuff that comes with that. So the thing that I'm going to talk to you about today is really important in these two quadrants as part of frameworks and part of freedom. It is essential. You can't really do those two things without this. And this is a word that starts with the letter S. And it is called systemization. Systemization. You absolutely must have systems in place in your practice in order to grow it, right? Again, even as a solo person, the way, or let's say that you book your clients, there's a system behind that, right? And that's going to change from when referrals are just trickling in to when you are overwhelmed with referrals. And even if you decide to stay a solo practice owner, you need to put a system in place. You need to review your system on a regular basis. And I find that a lot of practice owners, especially those of you that are so busy, that are run off your feet, that have got a lot of other balls that you're juggling, which is the majority of us, right? In terms of having family, maybe even a life outside of your practice, having all this stuff, these ideas that you want to do. We often fall down in doing a proper systemization. We often fall down there. And even this year, my inner circle group of private clients that works with me over 12 months, all of them, their number one reason that they told me they wanted to do the inner circle was to get access to my operating manual that has all the systems in there, right? And here I was thinking they just want to work with me. Now, I'm sure they love working with me as well. But they recognized how important it is to have systems, right? And I recognize how important it is. It's why at Elevate 2020, over those 2 days, on day 2, we're going to have a section dedicated to truly going, how do I do this thing? Okay, how do I do this? Because very often, because we get so busy, we just get stuck on that hamster wheel of just doing it the way we've always been doing it. You might tell me, well, Gerda, I do have systems, I do have policies written, all of that type of stuff. But the fact of the matter is, when last have you looked at your systems and asked yourself, is there a better way? Is there a cheaper way? Is there a way that is going to enhance customer service? Is there a way that we can be more innovative with this system? How can we do this faster? How can we do it better? And then, very importantly, how do I roll this out to my team, to the people that need to implement it, right? Systems filters into so many aspects of running your practice. It makes the onboarding of your clinician and admin team so much easier, right? It's like, let's be honest here. How many hours do you normally spend onboarding your front desk person? How many hours do you normally spend onboarding a clinician? But let's talk about front desk at the moment, right? When a new admin person come on board and you need to teach them how to answer the phone, how to welcome clients, how to book in appointments, how does your Power Diary or whatever system you use, how does that work? How do you bill third parties? How do you hop onto the NDIS portal and do all the billing, etc., right? That could take what, days, weeks? You can cut off a lot of hours by having a step-by-step system for all of that stuff. Because what if you are sick on that day when you need to do onboarding? Maybe you can give them that manual to start going through it already. And they forget half of the stuff you teach them anyway, right? So having step-by-step systems, do this, then do that. Do this, then do that. Actual how-to is so, so important. And again, look at your policies. Now, you might have like a whole policy written out for various things, but ask yourself, is there how-to steps in it? Okay, how do we implement this thing? All right, and this is so important because let's think about this. If you want to outsource stuff at your practice, there's so many solo practice owners, for example, that I know of that are really struggling to manage doing the clinical work in their practice. They're amazing clinicians, which means they're so busy, And then they do this whole day of 6, 7, some even 8 clients a day. Yes, I've heard of somebody that does 10 clients a day. Crazy, I know. But we are all different. Sorry, that was a phone call. You do as many clients a day as you can, but that's not the point. It's like they see all these clients and then they have to do phone calls. Like there might have been 10 people that has called and left messages. 5 of those might be current clients needing to rebook, reschedule, or cancel, or pre-book some appointments. The other 5 clients might be all new referrals, and it's like, oh, I want to go home to my family and have dinner and put my kids to bed, but now I need to call all these clients because I have a ethical and moral responsibility towards supporting those people, right? And that is a recipe for burnout. And it is so important when you get to that point to be able to outsource and to get a VA to answer your phone calls, for example. And it's so much easier when you have systems, because you just go, here's my document, this is how I do everything. Send it off to them, right? And they just need to follow it step by step. And a lot of other practice owners, again, that might be at the group practice owner stage, right? That are like just so busy, their head is full of all these other projects that they want to do, and shiny object syndrome. Does it sound familiar? And it's like they feel, and I've been there, they feel like they have to do everything themselves. Whereas if you actually took the time just to step back and go, all right, what is that stuff that I don't want to do? All right, let's make a list of 3 things. Let me systemize that. Let me write out how this all works. Another phone call. I am so popular today. And send it to someone else. Not systemizing your business, not systemizing it properly, not systemizing, or let's say reviewing your systems on a regular basis will most certainly stop growth in your practice. It is one of those things that will keep you stuck on the hamster wheel, okay? Not systemizing. So please, I really want to ask you, don't wait for Elevate 2020. Start systemizing now already, okay? Yes, we will share with you easy ways to do it, take you through a lot of stuff that will help you there, but start now, because there's so much that needs to be systemized, right? Everything that you do, and you don't have to be the one writing all of it. If you've got a receptionist, sit with her, brainstorm all the stuff that she does on a day-to-day basis and go, okay, this week we're going to systemize booking guidelines. Step by step. Every time you book in a client, what do? What's the first thing you do? Then you go here, then you go there. You could even draw up a nice little model, like a diagram, if you're very creative. But it is so important to get that done. All right, so that's the message that I wanted to share with you today. I do hope it was helpful. Please let me know your thoughts and your comments in the comment section. I know most of you are probably working, seeing clients, are in meetings, which is perfectly fine. I always come back and check the comments. Maybe just put in #replay so that I know that you were here and that you watched it. And if you've got some secrets around systemizing stuff that's really helped you, please share it with everybody else. We will most certainly have a dedicated speaker at Elevate 2020 to talk on this very important topic. And you know what? I should probably say this. Quite a number of practice owners are bringing their practice managers to Elevate 2020 because, of course, we're going to have Halo Practice Management there, and we're actually doing breakout sessions for the practice managers, senior receptionists, or even your principal psychologists if they want to join in that. So there is going to be at least 2 dedicated sessions just for them on this type of subject area. Alrighty, I'm gonna let you go and have a fabulous day, and I'll speak to you hopefully again very soon. And in the meantime, start elevating.